Here we are on the right side of the engine. It looks like there's a big plug. Okay, so here's a better shot. We're on the side of the engine. Like I said, there's a big plug that goes in. And let's see. Okay, so I had to do a little wiggling. This blue thing was stuck in there, and I had to really get in there with a screwdriver and carefully pry it until it broke free. So now, with the screwdriver, with this piece out, this blue piece, see if we can pull it out a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. So this is the little lock. Now with the lock out, we could pull up on the connector and then take it out. Okay, so I know it's hard to see, but there's 4 T20 screws on the outside edge of this. Okay, I really don't want to drop these, so I'm going to use my magnet tool. There we go. This one's really tough to get to. Get my magnet tool, fish it through here. There we go. Oh man, the bottom ones are in a really... I'm gonna have to take this intake snorkel off. So we're gonna take this little snorkel thing off here so I can better access what's going on. It's got a screw clamp right here. There we go. Took a little persistence, but it came out. Okay, now we got a much better shot to get in there. Perfect. Cannot see a thing. Well, I just realized something that'll make my life easier. There's a bolt on each side holding this whole assembly in. So I'll just take off the nuts. I'll just take off a nut on each side, and then I should be able to move this so I can access the bolts easier. You don't need to take the nut off because it's slotted. There's 2 on the bottom that are really rusty. Okay, so what I did was like I said, I unloosened those 2 nuts and I pulled the motor up so I can get in here easier. Pulled the motor up. Now I'm going to tighten these nuts to hold it in position. Alright, 1 more left. And it is in an impossible spot. You know what, I'm going to take off this air box. If I can get this out, that would be pretty sweet. It would certainly free up a lot of room. It looks like there's 2 bolts on these sides. You know what? This support bar has got to go next. Now we can take this out very easily. It appears as if something may have been living in the intake. Something made a nest in the intake. Let's just take that out. Well, that's the best I can do for right now. Okay, we got a little electrical connector down here that I'm going to take off now. Right about there I could see the screw. I'm going to have a hell of a time trying to put this back on. Get my magnet tool. Okay, now we should be able to take this thing off. Okay, here's the new one. Well, it's not new, I got it on eBay. Now see, there's plungers on this thing, and each one of these plungers has to go into these holes. So just fish it on there. There we go. Now I'm just going to put the two top screws in just to hold it in place. Let's try to get the bottom ones in. Those are the hardest. Okay, I really don't want to drop these bolts, so I put some electrical tape over this to hold it. Since I can't really get you in there, I have all the bolts started by hand. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run them in. And like I said, I can't really get you a good shot of me running the bolts in, but it's not really hugely necessary. So I'll see you when all the bolts are tight. Okay, welcome back. All the bolts are tight up front, so I'm going to loosen these side mounting bolts that I tightened earlier to keep it in position, and then push the motor back down to where it's supposed to go. There we go. Make sure you plug your electrical connector back in down here. Make sure it's clipped into place. Tighten these side nuts back. Okay, now we're going to reconnect this big old plug. There we go. Okay, pull the lock out. We're going to plug it back in. Slide the lock back on. And there you go. It's on there securely. So now let's put the rest of this crap back on. First, let's put our air box back. Okay, let's just put our cover back on it. Okay, let's put our crossbar here back. Okay, I'm not going to tighten this down fully until I have both bolts in and started. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten everything. And the one up here. Okay, last thing is to put this snorkel on. Man, it goes on a whole lot easier than it comes off. That's usually the case. Put the intake tube back on the air box. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Oh wow, check these brake pads out. It's pretty much nothing left of these things. Time to